demonstrate a simple split of colony to produce more colonies and more queens. There's two versions, so this is the Mark 1 version, which is very simple. What you have to remember before you do any splitting or any queen rearing, any involvement, any of that, is you need to make sure your colony is really healthy and no nasty diseases like foul brood, because once you start splitting things, you're spreading stuff around. Right, so this is my overwintered colony. Usually overwintered a one brood box, and come around to about April and you look at your bees and they've overwintered well, and this is the colony that I want to produce some offspring from. So I can let them build up naturally. It's got a crown board on. I could put a feeder on if I want to stimulate them, get them to build up a bit quicker, or I can just let nature take its course. When they're getting up to nearly the full brood box, perhaps 8-9 frames, I will stick another brood box on top. What I like to do actually is, if you just do that, as that, often the bees will keep the brood nest down the bottom and fill the top box up with honey. So what I like to do when the colony is quite strong is bring a couple of frames up from here, a couple of frames of brood up from there, and put them in the top box. I would only do that if the colony is strong enough to cope with it, and we'll look after the brood, and they'll build up a double brood box then, which is ideal. And again, at this stage, you might want to feed, because they've got, if it's foundation, there's loads of foundation to draw out. It takes a lot of energy, it just speeds up the process. Or let nature take its course. Around here there's plenty of nectar in the spring when the weather's okay, so they usually cope pretty well. Now when the colony is filling two brood boxes, getting pretty strong, nearly filled two brood boxes, that's the time when I can think about taking away. So what I'll do is put one brood box to one side. I would put it on something. I would look through here. This is a great job if you've got two beekeepers together, because one can go through one box, one can go through the other. But if you're on your own, you just got to do it methodically. Go through looking for the queen. She's not there. See if she's here. Yep, queen's there. That's I actually want her in the one I'm taking away, so I can transfer the frame or whatever, swap over, make sure she's in the one I want to take away. This one's staying here. What I want in here is lots of eggs and young larvae, and then I'll put that together again and they can get on with it. They're queenless. What I'm going to do with this one with the queen in, set the colony up a bit further away, 5-10 yards away. Some of the bees will stay with the queen and brood, some of the bees will fly home to where they're used to going, but enough will stay there to look after that. Particularly as they like looking after brood, they like staying with the queen. This colony's been boosted in strength because all those flying bees have gone home, but they're queenless, so they're not very happy about it. So what they're going to do is rear some queen cells, emergency queen cells, and so you just leave well alone. It's a nice strong colony, but it hasn't got a queen. But because it's strong, lots of feed around, they're going to rear good queen cells. So I can leave them alone for a week, come back a week later, and I should find some sealed queen cells, hopefully on various combs. There's 11 combs in here. What am I going to do? I can make 2 or 3 nukes, making sure there's at least one queen cell in each nuke. I never worry about them swarming too much if I'm doing that, if I'm splitting them up like that, because they're small and they're weak. And normally there's no trouble, but if you feel worried about it, you can reduce to 1 queen cell per nuke. I've never really had any trouble with small nukes swarming like that. So that has got me 2 or 3 colonies, or with queen cells in from my good queen. And then you have to leave them. The cells have got to hatch. The queen's got to mate. The queen's got to start laying. It can take a while. And I think if you've got still queen cells, you come back in 4 weeks' time, you should find a nice laying queen. But you might want to look before then, but to make sure, see if you can see a virgin queen or whatever. But best not to interrupt them when the queen's sort of 0 to 7 days old, because when she's about 5 days old, that's when she's going to fly out to mate. So better left well alone, really. And that's as simple as that.